We are live.
I didn't realize this program was under the thumb of Bruce Mittman, but that's nice to know.
I just didn't want him to come in and talk to me about something.
We're about to start, and Craig's like, Bruce is outside. Let's make sure he walks away.
No, he still is. I just wanted to make sure he wasn't coming this way, because then I have to be like, hold on.
Tell him to tell that twerp to kick rocks.
Beat it, shorty.
Well, hopefully we'll have some fun. Generally, these shows, when we just leave it up to the gearheads to give us some content, are always fun. But we have some stuff to start with. So fire away in the comments if you have any questions for us, topics, whatever you want us to talk about, we'll get to. But I have some sad news to report from the Patreon Why You Laughing world.
Uh-oh.
It seems like Matt from Rhode Island is no longer with us.
Oh, really?
He passed away. He died.
Oh, no.
In a tragic masturbation accident.
Oh, no.
Well, he hasn't said as much, but let me throw this at you.
Mm-hmm.
It's worse if I ever ask, like, hey, can you do something? It's much better to say no than go, well, yeah, I probably could. I can't on Sunday because of this reason. I can't on Monday because of this reason. I can't on Tuesday because of this reason. I can't on Wednesday because of this reason. I was just, tell me no, for God's sake. Don't shit on my head and expect me to say thank you for the hat.
He's a busy boy. Plus, he got a kid on the way.
No, I understand. He's very busy. I understand. I hope he can rejoin us soon. I'm sad. I enjoy him on Why Are You Laughing? He hasn't been able to do it. But I guess what irked me was is not even just his reason, but the way he said it. Like, we've joked on the show before about his hoarding of pornographic videos and links on the dark web and things like that.
Well, part of that was a joke.
Well, that's right. It's shame on me for thinking that, because that now he tells me it's a little insulting, because I'm like, hey, you want to do Why Are You Laughing this week? And he's like, I'll be busy categorizing or cataloging. That's the phrase he used. He said, I have to catalog all my videos. I want to get them in order alphabetically rather than numerically. And what really annoys me is he says to me, I'm only on Bukkake, so you can imagine my workload. And then with the winky kissy face emoji, as if I'm going to find that cute.
I find that funny, to be honest.
So, wish Matt from RI on Twitter, a vaulted podcast, wish him all the luck in the world in his, perverted ventures. But we soldier on. He's got bigger and better things to do, apparently.
We haven't had a Why Are You Laughing at home in a while. So that's why I like to call vaulted.
That's what I'm saying. It's I miss the old stomping grounds, but this guy's up to his eyeballs in fucking
shit,
jizz and I don't know, whatever else. I sound like a guy that's never had sex in his life. I'm like, what do you do in those videos?
Jizz and panties on the ground.
Penises are involved. No, is that right?
Most of the time, yeah.
That's true. I'm sure he has a whole category for that pervert. But we soldier on. Hopefully Matt from Rhode Island recovers swiftly and can make it back with us at some point.
Isn't this where we're supposed to say he's at some sort of outlandish convention? Right?
Why would that be?
I don't know. I feel like that's a theme when someone
can't understand.
You say that they're at a...
No, I always tell exactly what they're doing. Like I'm doing with Matt, I've done with you in the past. I'm transparent with the listeners. These people pay good money. I'm not going to bullshit them and cover up for you guys. If you're into these sicko little games that you play, where you go to these conventions and you whack it to these videos, and if that's what you're going to use it as an excuse, that's what I'm going to tell the people. That's what they pay for.
Steve's grandma looks like he's got a lead on where he's at. Gay conversion camp.
See, I don't know about that, because he said a litany of these videos handle exactly that. I don't think he's closeted in any way. I think he's very open about who he is.
He might be.
The only question is, whose kid is that, I suppose, You'd think his member would be so tired from all this usage.
Yeah, him and his other
just dust coming out.
Bucks fans, yeah. Could be anyone's kid.
That's true. Who knows? Speaking of women, by the way, I don't know who has done what to Craig in his life, I've met Mrs. Craig. Couldn't be
Yeah.
lovelier. So I don't think it's her.
Mhm.
But we've talked about Bobby and Kalila on this show.
Yep.
They broke up recently. The Tiger Belly podcast apparently is still soldiering on, but the two hosts, Bobby Lee and Kalila, have broken up. And Craig texts me about this by saying, "Sounds like this bitch has a gun to his head."
It did.
I listened to it. Bobby blamed himself. Kalila was weeping. It was a very sad scene. They're still living together. It seems like they love each other, but they aren't just in love with each other. And Craig is like, this dumb fucking whore.
She's gonna go fuck whoever she wants, and Bobby's like, I'm not gonna talk to anyone. I'm not gonna do anything.
Bobby
Blah,
said
blah,
the reason, part of the reason they broke up is because he was texting other girls.
Yeah, so she was fucking other guys. That's come out. That's proven.
It's not proven.
Yes, it is.
Proven by who?
I don't know. Text leaks.
Text leaks.
Yeah.
He's got something with women, this guy. I don't know what it is.
I don't like Kalila.
She represents someone in your life. I can't figure out who, but
No, I've never had that happen to me when I'm with someone and
some Filipino woman has wronged Craig in some way. And he's taking it out on Kalila.
I've never been with someone that fucks someone else and then stays with me and says, we're broken up, we're staying in the same house. I'm going to still spend all your money, but you can't talk to anybody else.
Hey, it's LA, man. Things are different out there.
And make sure you make it sound like this was your decision. Or
I don't think that's what happened. Folks, I've never recommended the Tiger Belly podcast, but go listen if you want to figure out what Craig is so riled up about. I was flabbergasted by it.
I'm outraged. It's consumed me for days.
He's been texting me about it nonstop.
He said
that's all I get. But yeah, this show has just become about Matt and Craig. I'm getting texts from one guy about, dominatrix whipping some fucking cuck. And the other guy is like, this fucking slut. How dare she break Bobby's heart?
Never said that, but it's weird that your brain went there.
It's like I'm on some horrible MTV reality show or something. I keep dealing with these two.
Yeah, it's Matt. He's in some gimp suit, and I'm just looking at my phone. Can you believe this guy?
Yeah.
What a show.
Yeah. By the way, speaking of defending women and being real cucks, did you see what LeBron said?
Yeah.
I don't understand. Is there enlighten me here? What am I missing that is his point? Because it sounds like he's just saying, like, boy, if I was in a Russian prison and America didn't get me out, I'd just want to stay. So
no, I made it. I took that as him saying she'll just go to like Canada or something, and like I sort of get what he's saying actually.
Do tell, defend the man.
She couldn't have been more of like an advocate for Biden and all this shit. Like Trump's getting Kodak Black and like all these people out of jail for significantly harsher things. Like,
well, I've said before, Trump would have gotten her out.
Oh, for sure.
Sweet. He'd be bragging about it. He'd love it.
For sure. That's exactly my point, though. He would make it happen. If I was Trump, I would still make it happen. I'd call Putin. He probably still has a cell number. Like, can you just let this lady out?
Yeah, I don't know enough about foreign policy or any of this horse shit that goes into it. So I can't really say how easy or difficult it would be to get her out. But it is hilarious to be like, Brittany, girl, just stay over there because it ain't too good here. Sure, I've been able to make hundreds of millions of dollars in this country, but a Russian prison seems like the bee's knees.
No, I took it as him going because I think it's been said to death. But if it was LeBron, he wouldn't be there. It would have been back already.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like she probably feels, I don't know why, but betrayed.
Do we have the actual? Let's hear the actual quote if we have that.
I don't
want to put words in his mouth.
I have some like all I could see was like some weird like commercial for it, and he briefly says it in it. I couldn't find the longer quote.
Huh. Can I hear that at least? I guess.
Yeah, let me make sure there's no ad on this video I'm about to play, which I'm sure there is.
TMZ, don't you screw me.
4 seconds, then the ad's done.
All right.
What the fuck is this?
Ladies and gentlemen, LeBron James.
What the fuck? Hold on. Here it is.
Black art. Have you had to explain that ever to collectors?
It's not the responsibility of black folks to use.
I don't think this is it.
It's right here.
Tool.
Brittany Griner. She is in Russia. She's been there
over 110 days. Now, how can she feel like America has her back? I would be feeling like, do I even want to go back to America?
I'm not saying you're going to be twice.
That's all.
Yeah, I wish they didn't chop it up like that. But I suppose I see what you're saying, but it's also just this disconnect where, hey, not even take LeBron out of it. The fact that LeBron makes hundreds of millions of dollars, is wildly famous, can speak his mind whenever he wants, is considered an activist for some reason, even though we didn't go to college. He's just a high school graduate that has become like the voice of a generation and a race somehow. But take all that out of it. Just as regular civilians, would you rather be in how many countries than America? Like, if you're worried about abortion, there are a lot of countries that are a lot worse. If you're worried about gay marriage, I hate to tell you what the laws are in certain countries. Like, go to the Middle East and have, pride parades and shit like that. I don't think it flies there. So there's a lot of problems in America, but the idea that you would stay somewhere else, particularly a war-torn Russia, in prison, is a pretty bizarre consolation prize to take.
This hurts me to like defend LeBron James here. Like, I think he almost said what he meant, but I don't think he meant staying in Russia at all.
Right? Yeah, I understand. He's saying, but I guess my question would be, where would you go? So the Canada is where you go?
I wouldn't, because I hate Justin Trudeau more than anybody.
But even that, is there a WN or a women's basketball league that would pay her hundreds of thousands of dollars in Canada?
Is that how much she's getting? Is that even true?
It's like $200,000 or something.
That's it. Oh my god.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's it. But the NBA fucking pays. The league doesn't make any money.
Because the best bet you have at getting home is the United States working out a deal. If you're in Canada, Trudeau's going to be like, you can hang her in the square as long as you don't bomb us.
Come on, please give her back. Come on.
Come on.
But it's amazing. So that's another thing. People bitch about like WNBA salaries and things like that. She makes $200,000 in a league that doesn't make any money.
Did you see?
Imagine if you were getting paid $200,000 by a company that was hemorrhaging money every year, and a bigger company was just bailing them out over and over again.
Did you see the All-Star game, the MVP trophy, the All-Star game? It was the saddest trophy I've ever seen in my life.
What is it?
It looked like a 2-inch thing you'd get at like a dollar store.
It's Lisa Leslie doing a layup.
It's literally
almost grabbing the rim.
It has nothing to do with basketball. It looks like Aladdin's lamp, kind of.
Interesting.
It's so bad. Let me see.
Here, ladies, wish that you were as talented as the men. Come on, everyone, give this a rub.
WNBA All-Star Trophy. Yeah, it already fills in. It's terrible. It's very, very small. Let me share this for the people. I don't think you can see it, so it'll be for the gearheads.
Yes. By the way, folks, if you want to see that, go to the YouTube page. Our YouTube numbers are too low, quite frankly. So make sure you go to YouTube, subscribe, tap the notification bell. You can find that link as well as our Patreon link, the link to all the audio versions of the show, merchandise, all that fun stuff at blindmike.net. So make sure you do that today. And if you want to sign up to Patreon, you can find it there. Buy some merch. But easier way to support the show is on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, all of that. Just, review the show, share it, tell a friend. And that's a free way to support the podcast, if you'd be so kind.
It's a small carafe to serve their breadwinning husband, Box Eating Dad says.
That's like any of them have husbands, Box Eating Dad.
It's literally slightly bigger than the number on her jersey, this trophy.
Well, they don't have any money left. What the fuck? Like, it's Bill Burr, by the way, has a bit about this in his new special.
Oh, I meant to watch that.
It was good. There were some big laughs. The closer really made me laugh. But other than that, it would be very easy if you're like Kirk or someone that thinks he's just like an old man, get off my lawn type of guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely easy to make fun of. It's a lot of the he plays a lot of the hits. Like a lot of the same topics he's covered before, but
Beating women.
It's funny.
What do you think?
Yeah, it's not bad.
I thought he would dive more into the dad stuff.
He gets into that a little bit, but it certainly wasn't my favorite part of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's hard. Well, it's weird. This is where Bill Burr's gotten to a weird place in his career. Is I think he loves being a dad and is genuinely very happy in his marriage and with his kids and things like that.
Mhm.
At least that's the vibe you get from if you ever listen to his podcast or anything. But he's so, the foundation of his stand-up is being angry. It's like getting overly mad at shit and bitching about it. And so I think he's at a hard time, like now that he's at a happier place in his life. I don't think that material comes as naturally to him as it used to,
I agree.
And it seems like his major gripes were women, where he's done a brilliant job of covering that. Like the domestic violence stuff that he did is, and he has some stuff in this special that I think really is very funny and original. But a lot of it is like, all right, yeah, Bill, we got it. Like he opens with COVID shit, where I would recommend to almost anyone. Like,
no more COVID talk.
Yeah, we got it. Yeah, we all stayed inside for 2 years and had to wear a mask, and we understand the vaccine it's divisive, and half of the people say this, and the other half say this. That part we got. No one needs to cover that anymore.
Right, I agree.
Unless something new happens,
or you just have the funniest thing ever said, and it happens to be around.
And there's even like a thing that where in Joe List's special where I've seen him do it before, so I know it's like written, but he makes it kind of sound like it's off the cuff. Where he basically says like, whatever you people believe, I agree with you. And he talks about being with like his friends that lean one way and just agreeing with them and doing the opposite when he's around his other friends. And it's funny. But eventually that is a thing that 10 other comics will do in a less funny way, and there's just diminishing returns on it.
Yeah. That sounds more like a political topic rather than a COVID.
Kind of, yeah. And well, even with Joe List, it's not even political as much as he's tying it into his need to please people and his anxiety and shit like that.
Right.
So if you find a way to do it like that, like we talked with Louis on the latest episode of Why Are You Laughing, for you folks out there that want to see that. Like Louis C.K. has a bit about airplanes that if you just say like, oh, this guy does bits about airplanes, you'd be like, oh, what a hack. But he managed to do it at the time in a way that no one had ever talked about it before. You know what I mean? So that's what you have to do if you're going to do COVID material. All right, Bill Burr, I'm sure you're listening to notes from me. But overall, it was okay. If you're a Bill Burr fan, check it out. If you've never liked him, this isn't going to turn you on. And if you've never watched him, this isn't the one I would recommend. Put it that way.
Really? I don't like that.
Yeah, it's okay. I think you'll like it.
Last special or two weren't on par with like his first few.
No, and that's what I'm saying. I think he's probably at a happier place in life where a lot of that angry material doesn't come as naturally. But he has 3 or 4 of the best albums / specials of all time, in my opinion. So
Let It Go is one of the funniest things I've ever heard in my life.
Let It Go. You people are all the same. And I'm sorry you feel that way.
That was the one before Let It Go, right?
I'm sorry you feel that way was the black and white Netflix special.
Oh, You People Are All the Same is the one with the blue background, I think.
Yes,
That was the one, and then Let It Go. That string of 3 specials was so funny.
Yeah. He got an Emmy, by the way. His TV show, which I didn't know existed.
His TV show?
I guess he did some TV show on Roku that got nominated for an Emmy. I shouldn't say he got an Emmy. He got nominated.
No shit. I didn't know that. I thought you were talking about F is for Family for a second.
No, I don't know if that ever got nominated, but this Roku show did, apparently.
Huh.
Which, by the way, the idea that in 15 seasons, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia has accumulated 0 Emmy nominations is astonishing.
I don't know how that's possible.
It doesn't seem possible. And I tweeted something like that last night, and someone was like, I agree, but this season wouldn't be the season to complain about it. 2 reasons I don't agree with that. It's not Always Sunny's funniest season. Rarely is your 15th season your best. But it was still funny. Like, I still enjoyed it, which it makes it better than most comedies on television. Like, no matter what you think of Ted Lasso, Always Sunny is a funnier show.
I'm shocked they're still going.
Always Sunny?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they seem to still enjoy it, I guess. I listen to their podcast, and they all get along still and everything, so I don't know. Maybe they'll just keep doing it until they're out of ideas or sick of it.
Yeah, Mike from Providence says Steve Carell never won an Emmy as Michael Scott or for The Office.
Really? See,
That's
that's
weird.
amazing because that The Office was like a dark. I know he got nominated all the time,
Right.
but he was always so like. I know there was a run of like 3 or 4 years where best lead actor in a comedy was Alec Baldwin, Steve Carell, Larry David. I think Don Cheadle for House of Lies. And but the guy who won it every year was Jim Parsons from The Big Bang Theory. I think one of those years too. The other guy from 2.5 Men won, John Cryer.
See, 2.5 Men and Big Bang Theory are shows that like I could watch, but I don't go out of my way to watch. That makes sense. Like I don't think they're the biggest piles of shit I've ever seen. But
I mean, they're not good. They shouldn't be winning Emmys every year. They shouldn't be the most watched show on television.
Well, that's
but
why
yeah, I guess the people that bash them probably go too far in the other direction.
Well, that's why we can't say it's not good because it clearly is.
Right. Yeah. I'm
like my parents love The Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, it's just not for us. Like if you like HBO comedies, then it's not The Big Bang Theory isn't going to be for you.
Right. Like I've watched the show with my parents here and there, and there's some things that I was like, oh, that, but I'm never laughing out loud, really.
Right. The only I would say the thing that's unfair is when they do like take the laugh track out. You ever seen those videos on YouTube?
Oh yeah, it's so brutal.
Where they take the laugh track out, and but that's brutal. But like I've seen them do that with Seinfeld, and it for some reason it takes something away. I don't know why.
The energy.
I guess also like the long pause, it just makes it not seem like a natural conversation.
Yeah, exactly. But I also think that Seinfeld was actually filmed. Half these shows I don't think are actually filmed in front of people anymore.
Right.
There was Whitney Cummings, not Whitney Cummings, the other guy there that talks to underage women before meeting them.
Chris D'Elia?
Yes. He was it Undateable? Is that his show?
Yeah.
So that show, they ended up doing it live. Like they broadcast the show live.
I remember that, yeah.
I thought was actually kind of cool because you would see them crack and fuck up.
Yeah, that's only funny so many times though.
It wasn't overly done.
Okay.
So I never really got old, but I just thought that was interesting.
I love the episode of 30 Rock when they're doing it live in front of a live audience on the SNL stage. And Tracy Morgan's whole bit that episode is he wants to break on live television. And he'll like fake like he goes, uh-oh, I'm doing something called breaking. Which is pretty much what people started doing on SNL, like after Jimmy Fallon. They're like, oh, this will get a laugh if I just start laughing.
I have to give that show another try.
30 Rock, I think, is one of the best written sitcoms of all time.
I definitely have to.
But anyway, the other thing I was going to say, in the last episode of the most recent season of Always Sunny, Charlie Day gives like a tremendous dramatic performance.
Oh, really?
Where like, if it wasn't Always Sunny, like you might tear up. You know what I mean? Like I think the fact that Danny DeVito pulls up 8 seconds later really takes you out of it. Or Frank Reynolds, I should say. But yeah, Charlie Day gives a performance where you're like, fuck, this guy can act. Like and it's a sad moment.
Is it like him realizing what his life's become or something?
It has to do with his dad.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, so I don't want to give too much away. Yeah.
All right. Jesus. Suburban Tug Time says, I don't know how to explain this, but Craig thinking Big Bang Theory is fine is the least surprising thing ever.
Yeah, that's exactly. It's funny that you say that, Suburban Tug Time, because that's exactly what I was trying. I was trying to say that actually without insulting Craig for once, because I get what he's trying to say, but it was also it seems very Craig.
I don't like the show, but I'm saying I've seen significantly worse.
I think that's the best way to say it is here's what defines Craig. His comedy tastes are Dane Cook and The Big Bang Theory. That's what Craig is all about.
It's not a great look.
It's easy. It's easy watching.
It was maybe the only thing me and Royce disagreed on was Dane Cook.
I could tell you didn't want to say that to your new buddy.
I said it. I didn't give a shit.
No, I know, but you're like, we're bonding so much. I'm not gonna bring up how much I love Dane Cook.
I was like, everyone gives him a hard time for no reason.
He was just because like he fucking sucks.
No, he's funny, and everyone was like jealous of his success.
Yeah, well, it's a mix of things with old Dan, I suppose. By the way, the other thing I wanted to mention, believe you me, if the clips were great, they would be in your hands 2 weeks ago. But they did a surprisingly okay job. Sammy Gravano was on with Brendan Schaub and Brian Callen.
Fuck, I completely forgot about that.
Which to me seems like people. Someone DM'd me, thinking they had a treat, Christmas morning type gift for me, which I would expect as well. The idea of Brendan Schaub and Sammy Gravano getting together is my ideal podcast. I had Carl from WATP on the phone saying we need an emergency podcast.
Did he?
But no, because it wasn't. Sammy Gravano kind of took over and did most of the talking.
I would do the same thing, to be honest.
They ask some dumb question, and Brendan has some dumb moments that maybe we can go over at some point. But it wasn't as glaring as I was hoping for. So maybe we'll do that another day on Patreon or something. But
I can only imagine that show goes Sammy looking at Brendan and going, yeah, those pants are for girls. I've killed people for less. Like,
it's funny. It goes in that direction.
really?
You're saying like this is for girls. So like one of the things. Fuck. Do I have to send you the email now?
What?
I feel like we might have to go down this rabbit hole. One of the things is like Sammy basically he tells this long story of he was in the hole, and Callen asks him like, what's being in solitary for 6 years? I think he was in solitary, and Callen's like, what's that like? It must drive you fucking nuts. And Sammy's big story to tell you what solitary confinement is like. He says one day my wife came to visit, and I get one visit a month or something like that. And I call the guards because I have to go to the bathroom. And a female guard comes over. And she brings me to the bathroom. And I say to her, I could you go down the hall? I don't got to piss. I got to shit. And she says, I'm sorry, Sammy, I can't. I have to stay. Like, it's my job. I have to stay with you. So I had to shit in front of a woman. The only time in my life I ever did that. And that to me defines what solitary confinement was like. I'm like, Sammy, so the worst part of your solitary, losing your mind, being solely alone for 6.5 years, Sammy's takeaway was like, I don't want to shit in front of a broad. I don't want her to hear me fart.
Yeah. That's fucking funny.
So there were a lot of moments like that. And then the best part was Schaub goes, I'd kill myself.
Someone get him in solitary quickly. Did he sound fine? Because I guess COVID almost killed him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So I don't know when they recorded this. I think the podcast itself came out like 2 weeks ago. But he seemed fine.
Good. Steve's grandma
good.
said,
Good for the bull.
he says, Two Broke Girls is on Craig's sitcom Mount Rushmore.
He loved it. It was weird. We did, for those of you on the Patreon, we did a long time ago, Two Broke Girls. And, I tried to have fun making fun of it. Go watch the tape. And Craig's like, no, these girls are very talented, actually.
We were playing.
He keeps saying, wouldn't he put a lot of work into this show?
I kept going, shh. I missed what he said.
Yeah, Mike, pipe down. Forgot we were broadcasting.
I forgot we did that. We were doing the how long do they talk? That's not like a joke.
Is there ever not a setup or punch? And I think we might have found one line where they did that.
Oh, there was one fucking ridiculous one. Oh, when she like gave someone cream for her and she's like, that's a true friend or whatever the fuck it was. Do you remember?
Yes.
It was like a serious line.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I forget what it was though.
Go to the Patreon, folks. Go find that.
It's good stuff.
Yeah. So I guess here's a good way to present your Big Bang Theory argument is they'll at least have like conversations. I've never really watched much of the show.
Yep.
But I think at least shows like that, will have somewhat of a conversation where two broke girls, it's like humans don't talk like this.
Correct.
So it's just uncomfortable.
Plus, it's like strictly all like nerd shit that I don't even understand.
That Craig thinks it's like an intellectual sitcom. He's like, oh, this is highbrow comedy.
Don't judge Craig as a content consumer. Judge Craig as a producer. Craig produces great content, except for VGS. This guy's a patron to VGS. What a dickhead.
That's how he knows. He's
That's how
next. He's not, at least you know he's not lying.
I don't think he's missed a show, actually.
Well, listen, I've been there. You can't take your eyes off it sometimes, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, I thought one of the best questions we got today was who dies first on VGS.
I did see that. That got a lot of likes, and I didn't like that.
And I got to tell you, I think my answer might surprise people.
I got an answer, I think.
I think easily Matt.
I don't think so.
I really do. I think, and I'll give you my reasons and tell me if you disagree with that.
You know, it's not going out on a limb saying that guy that's grotesquely overweight is going to die early.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Matt will. I said that backwards. I apologize. I think Matt will live the longest.
So do I.
And I'll tell you why. I think Tom will die from irrelevance. Just
Tim.
not enough people know he exists.
Box Eating Dad says Tim has cancer. He's an easy number one.
Is it Tim?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Tim's gone because people will, like, when he's in line at Dunkin' Donuts, they don't even think to serve him. It's how irrelevant the guy. You forget he's even there.
The whole chat's hoping he dies first.
Well, who would notice?
Well,
frankly?
the funny thing is everyone thinks he's a gay slow person with AIDS because next to the three of us, he looks like he has cancer.
If you told me, whenever the last time I was on with you guys, when Tim was in the room,
I gotta defend him. That was his first day.
well, that's why I have no issue with that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you told me he died 9 minutes later, I'd have no way to dispute you. I would fully believe it. I have no other evidence that he lived beyond that. So he's already gone. I think Mike, unless he gets into therapy, kills himself in the next 6 to 8 months.
I think he dies first easily, and I think it's
By his own hand. I think.
No,
He
I
has
think
too many guns at his disposal.
I think it's a stress-induced heart attack.
That's also possible, but that's along the same theme. That's still a form of killing himself.
I wish I could forget Tim was there.
Oh, has he started talking?
No, this is that kid that hates the show but knows everything about
No,
it.
but I'm saying has Tim started talking on the show more?
Oh yeah, no, everyone loved him until he called the whole chat virgins the other day.
That's a good tact. Insult the listeners you have.
Well, they're very mean the whole show. It's very funny.
Yeah, so Mike kills himself or just seizes up and dies.
Mm-hmm.
Craig, I think in some attempt to get away from his family, I think that's when Craig dies. And that's when I think all of his lies are exposed. Like his poor wife thinks he's out on these. I'm certain he tells her that the Wilbur is work. Like, oh, I got a gig this weekend. I got a big job.
I know. You're like, I have 2 kids and a wife. I heard you the other day. You're like, oh, he's got the
Yeah,
Wilbur.
by the way, are you ready for the big show this weekend? I hope you're not too nervous.
I'm going to the Wilbur. And then the next day I can't be like, hi, wife and kids. I'm also going to go 2 states away and record shows now.
Well, that's my point. Prioritizing is my point. The Wilbur. This guy has to perform at the Wilbur. He's got a big monologue prepared.
Only had tickets for the last decade and a half to it. It's finally coming.
I understand. I did enjoy saying that, though.
I know you did. I know you did. Did you also enjoy?
I'm a little nervous for the Wilbur.
Did you also enjoy on Mena's show when you were like, honestly, like, who the fuck else am I going to get that has this much time to do the show?
You know what's funny is I meant that as people pointed. Someone said I buried you for saying saying that.
Cooler was fucking furious. He kept saying Mike crushed you, and I was
It's
like,
very funny in my mind. This is how shitty I am to people. That in my mind, I was paying him a compliment.
that was the worst compliment I've ever got. I prefer Matt.
But what I meant was, Well, I was very hurt that Matt has put his masturbatory habits over this program. That hurts my feelings.
Mm.
But my point was, I say you bitch about Craig. I should have said it this way. For those of you that bitch about Craig, who would be willing to put in the amount of time that Craig has to do this show? Find someone.
Yeah, that part I understood. It was that, I obviously prefer Matt to do it.
What? Fine. Get a Down syndrome ape to do it. Is that what you want, people?
I am so good at making these remote shows sound good. Good luck, sir.
Yes. No, I didn't mean it as an insult.
That's even funnier.
I meant it as the highest compliment. What
Mike's
do you want from me, people?
Steve's grandma says Mike's compliments to Craig are always backhanded.
No, I don't think that's true. I think he does a tremendous job for someone of his intelligence.
I'd much rather backhanded compliments than whatever you're about to say. Don't do it.
As Jim Halpert once said, let me put it this way. Craig does exactly the job I would think someone like him was capable of doing in a position like that.
See, guys, he didn't mean anything like it. Are they talking about Matt and Tim having sex now?
Oh, yeah. So I think Craig dies in one of his weekend getaways where he's running away from his family.
I go away with them on weekends. Holyland and shit.
And I think Matt finds a lady, a nice lady. He settles down. He starts to eat better. He gets happier.
These are literally the same thoughts I had when I saw this question.
I think this is the trajectory that Matt is on. Maybe it's not a good question because I think everyone knows that. The Mike thing, everyone is like, he'll be dead very soon.
I think Mike dies, then Tim, then me, then Matt. Matt outlives us all.
Yeah. Is Tim even alive still, though, is the real question,
He just had sex for the first time in a while and got ghosted shortly after, so he's not doing great.
At least he had sex, pal,
But he was with a girl for a while. Dude's got a giant hammer. We've talked about it before.
He was with her for a while?
Not this one.
Oh, I'm sorry. So this was a rebound.
He was off a breakup and he didn't feel like dealing with women anymore. We all understand that. And then he finally got back on it and didn't go well.
Oh, but isn't that what you want from a rebound? You have sex with her once and then you don't hear from her anymore. That's a good thing in a way.
Yeah, but then I think he had sex and was like, "Oh, this is fun. I forgot.
I'm in love."
And I was like, "Where'd she go?"
Oh, okay. Well, hopefully it all works out for Tim. We all wish Tim the best. So let's get to these Patreon questions, for God's sake.
Better question is, how long before Matt has to go on an oxygen tank and a rascal scooter?
See, I don't think that's going to happen. I'm telling you. I think he's going to turn things around.
It's going to be like season 6 Vito from The Sopranos.
Oh, you think he's going that route?
Well, he just loses weight like crazy, and you're like, "Whoa, look at this guy." Oh, no. I don't think he's going to get killed for being gay.
Okay,
No.
all right. I was going to say, that's not how I remember things ending for Vito.
No. I meant appearance-wise.
Okay, I got you.
That'd be wicked fucking funny.
How is
Tim
that not the thing you thought I would think of?
I don't know. Tim just kills him by ramming
With a pool cue up his ass. Yeah, let's get to these Patreon questions.
Block seating dad. No homo, but I think it's kind of funny to imagine Matt begging to get his titties sucked and the girl never talks to him again.
That's very interesting.
That would be pretty funny. Patreon questions. So let's see. Whoops, shit. It reloaded. My fault.
Oh God.
See, guys, why am I here, right? A little over 2 years ago, Kirk kicked you out of the studio.
Hold on 1 second. I'll throw another compliment at Craig because now I feel bad. That's why this is why I need a co-host, by the way.
Relax.
Because if Craig is here to be the punching bag, I feel bad too often when I make fun of him. I need another guy to also beat up on him so I can be like, it's fun. We're having fun. But I'll throw it. I should have added the amount of time he puts in it, and also that is somewhat interested in the subjects I'm talking about. That's another big key. And the reason I wanted to throw that out there is because I am accepting applications if you feel you fit the criteria.
Let's go.
All right, I'm sorry. Back to the questions.
Yeah, David Leclerc. A little over 2 years ago, Kirk kicked you out of the studio for an episode. Now it's been long enough to be honest. Did you slam the door on the way out of the studio?
I saw this one. I swear to you, the door slams shut all the time. If you don't shut that door gently, it really takes off.
Yes.
So no, I did not. I would tell you, but I did not.
Christian Benecasa asks, if you were able to drive, would you be a car guy or a truck guy?
Interesting question. I like the idea. Maybe this is more of my college mindset, but I always like the idea of having a car with a lot of room, so the amount of people you're with would never be an issue. So I think I might be an SUV guy, like a big Tahoe or something like that.
New trucks are great though, because you can. It's almost the size of an SUV in the cab. Plus, you got the back for like tailgating and shit.
Well, the problem, my God, with these gas prices, I'd be in poverty.
That's true. That's
As
true.
if I'm not now.
Minivan's not great on gas right now.
Yeah. Well, so I suppose that's my answer. I think I would go with an SUV.
Jared Farah, does Mike listen to porn? Not watch, listen to porn.
Well, I can still see enough, but I will tell you, put it this way. If there's not a lot of audio, like if the woman is particularly quiet or something, or if for whatever reason I would have to mute it, then it's a no-go. I do need the audio, but watching is also still an element for me.
Steve, you're live to tape. Is Clemmer too sensitive to survive Barstool?
Yeah, I don't think so, because who's really going to harass him at Barstool?
Unless
you know what I mean? Like if he's not dealing with Kirk, which I guess he is today, it sounds like. Did I see correctly that they were putting they're golfing together?
that was their team getting together that way.
I thought so, but I'm not exactly sure.
That would make sense for Barstool to do that, so that probably did happen.
Yeah, some sparks or something, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, if there's like
I don't know, other than Portnoy, who's he going to work with that gives him shit, really? Like, I don't think it's the same Barstool you're thinking of where they're going to really bust his balls. Like, look at day one, he's racing women in the hallway, Right. So I don't know. I imagine he'll be fine.
The only thing I could see is like someone. I think someone will be too sensitive for Chris, and that'll start a fight that he does not enjoy.
He also can be. Let's not forget the sound drop of I told you, you cunt, or whatever the fuck he says to Carano.
If that Chris shows up, he'll be like a megastar there.
Yeah, he can. If he's agitated enough or in the right environment, I think he can display some toot.
Right. Which, who knows? I don't know. I think he'd be better off in New York than Miami, though.
Yeah, with because more people around, you mean?
More people around. There's more to do.
Yeah, like what are him and Jeff?
He's married, so Miami, like half of the shit in Miami just gets cut out.
Yeah, we won't get that wild man out on the out on the dating scene.
Oh, imagine a Mariners stream after a night out in Miami.
Honey, you want to come back to my place? I just do a quick doubleheader and then.
I just followed a new Twitter account that was Fire GM Clemmer. It's been very funny.
It's like 3 games in, they started a petition. Mariners need to. What's next?
Jonathan A. Mellor. I don't know. Now that it's been a couple years, what were you feeling going into Madawaska and Saco? I suffer from severe anxiety, and I can absolutely see myself getting blasted at Madawaska, then taking a leave a week after Saco. I hate attention, so I imagine that played a big part. And I guess, lastly, how are you feeling about Wilbur?
Saco was definitely the first Saco we did. I was definitely the most anxious, and I was very focused on because I got wind of the stand-up thing like a day before or something, and rather than thinking like, luckily I have some time to think of something, I just kept thinking like, I can't do this, I can't do it. Like I was just focused on the wrong aspects of it. So that I was miserable for. Madawaska, most of the anxiety came after based on my decisions. So because of both of those things, I think I'm probably in a better place for this weekend, and hopefully it's fun and goes well. But we'll see.
How you feel?
You'll be listening to this after it happens, so you guys will have heard if I hung myself from the rafters.
Are you you have material for this weekend?
None of your business. People will find out when they get there.
That'd be pretty neat to say you've done stand up at the Wilbur.
Who knows?
Let's see. This is from Jay. Mike, another great episode on Who Are These Podcasts? I'm so into the Stuttering John and Who Are These Podcasts rivalry right now that I went back and listened to the Enough About Me episode with Stuttering John. I think it's worth a re-listen. There's one point in the episode where Kirk asks him about Artie. Fun game is seeing how long it takes John to say I or me.
Yeah, it's funny because I remember listening to that and not thinking anything of it, just thinking it was an entertaining podcast with one of the old guys from Stern, because I think that's what Kirk wanted. Like, Kirk was just a Stern fan that was interviewing him for that reason. But it's funny now to go back and listen to any audio of Stuttering John, because like I said on WATP last weekend when I was on, he's the most predictable guy of all time, where no matter what, you can set your watch by him, as they say, where he will make the conversation about him. He will brag. If anyone insults him, he will viciously attack. Like that, me talking about Craig earlier, saying like whatever I said, taking applications or something. He would have said, "Oh yeah, remember when your grandmother was sick and you cried?" And it would be like, "Whoa, where did that come from?"
That would have been a wicked funny response, actually.
But it's shit like that where the thing that started the beef with him and Artie was he was on Artie's podcast, and Artie like busted his balls about doing stand-up or something like that, and John went right to his heroin addiction, and then brought up like Artie's dad dying. And it's like, Jesus, John, there are levels of ball busting that you kind of work up to where it doesn't seem just angry. And so, yeah, I find Stuttering John to be a fascinating character. And us gearheads here wish Carl all the best in his legal battles.
Is that getting serious?
I think so. I don't really know. I think what they talked about the week before I was on was they sent Carl a cease and desist, which is basically a way of saying, like, stop talking about us before we pursue legal action, like a warning shot. So Carl had like an attorney on. I don't know what this guy's credentials are, but he's in some form or fashion familiar with the law. And he was basically like, yeah, like, you can respond and say that, like, I haven't been doing all of these things, and John could still pursue legal action, but there's nothing that Carl has done illegally. Like the things John is claiming, Carl hasn't done. Like he's saying that Carl cost him money for stand-up gigs by telling his listeners to get the gig canceled. Carl never did that. There's no audio of it. Like it doesn't exist. So two things for John. A, that it's going to get thrown out because it didn't happen. But B, you're going to have to provide proof, which means you're going to have to provide information that has what you got paid for all these gigs, how much money you make on your podcast. Like if you're claiming that this guy has cost you money, then you have to show damages and you have to show exact numbers as to what you lost. So I think that's going to end up being very bad for John, because if the guy's substitute teaching on the side, I don't think he's making money hand over fist in stand-up and podcasting, you know?
Definitely not.
But yeah, he's an interesting guy.
Ref 513 asked a question I don't understand. Any plans for Why You Laughing About the Minions?
Like the Steve Carell animated movie?
That's what I thought. Is it because like people are going in suits?
I have no plans for it, but if you give me a reason I should, then go for it.
Brendan McGowan. Do you ever think about asking Kirk to pay you for your time in studio?
No, I get this one a lot. No.
Like some arrangement where you aren't a Barstool employee, but you're not required to do any extra work outside of the show. You're compensated for a daily rate for your time.
Yeah, I've thought about that, and if I like, it would depend, maybe, but like the way I kind of look at, as I've said before, like comics would go on Stern and O&A and shows like that all the time, simply for promotion. So that's how I look at it. Like I don't have to do extra work for the show or anything like that. So I look at it as helping this podcast. You know, I think that if that was gone, it would hurt the show. So that obviously means it's worth something to me. You know, so I've just been happier doing what we're doing.
Beef Montana. More of a topic related to more on money, but have you had the time to check out Hexcoin or Richard Hart yet? Could be a game changer.
It's funny. I get someone asks me, I think it's a couple different guys that ask me about Hexcoin so often that I'm like, is there a joke that I'm missing? I'm like, they have to be fucking with me. But I looked into it a little bit, and here's my stance on it right now. It seems as though we're in a recession. The CPI data just came out today, and it was even higher than expected. Inflation is booming, folks. And I'm not the man to listen to for that. This is not financial advice. Keep that in mind. Welcome to More on Money. But my take on it right now is any crypto. Like the only crypto I'm buying right now would be Bitcoin and Ethereum, and maybe a handful of others like Cardano and Chainlink. That's more or less it that I would be buying right now, simply because those are the ones that I trust long term and that I'm interested in long term. Even Cardano is borderline on that because like we're in such an shaky, uncertain financial time right now that I'm only going with things I trust. Same in the stock market where like I'm buying shares of Amazon and Disney when they hit their lows rather than, some penny stock or, tilt like a weed stock or something like that. Going with the certainty right now. But if you can convince me of why I should buy Hexcoin, I'd be happy to.
Alex Kaufman, how did you learn to be open when in therapy instead of brushing everything off and simply giving the I'm fine routine?
I think just the more you do it, honestly.
And
yeah, like I think the longer you're in therapy and the more you see, like I've started to see there are things where I change the way I'm about to say something, and then in my mind I realize like, oh, this is a silly thing to be nervous about.
Right.
Like when you say that, like there's just something, cathartic about saying it out loud, even. It doesn't matter who it's to. But yeah, I think that just comes with time. I don't know that there was anything I did as much as like just continued to do it.
Also, people in the chat, put your questions in because when I'm done with these, I'm going to go to the chat. Michael Demers. This is a great point. I read this one earlier, and it is a great point.
Okay.
Hey, Mike, I love the last episode of Why You Laughing About roasts, but I thought...
Oh, yes. Yeah, this is a good point.
Glaring omission. You talked about the James Franco roast, one of the closest like Friar Club roasts, and I have to admit I've never heard that one in its entirety, but I'm wondering if you checked out the Rich Voss roast. That's the best roast out there.
Yeah.
One of the funniest of all time, very old school in the sense that everyone on the dais were pretty much friends making some legendary ball busting.
Did we not mention that at all? Shame on us for that.
Yeah, because of all people, I think Florentine had the best set of the night.
Well, maybe it was just shockingly good. We weren't expecting it from him. But yeah, he had some funny jokes. But I just like, because Vinny Paulino is a fan of those guys as well, so I'm surprised we didn't bring it up with him. But I will say, to defend myself a little, the James Franco thing, I was specifically talking about the Comedy Central roast. Like I thought that was the best of that bunch because they don't get guys that know each other. Like the Patrice roast is also better than most of the Comedy Central roasts. And right. I will say the Saget roast, because of the same reason this guy mentioned, because a lot of those guys were friends, Norton, Giraldo, Gilbert, Norm, and Saget. Maybe one or two others that I'm forgetting. But like, because those guys are friends, it just comes off more genuine and the jokes are rooted in a place of actually knowing each other rather than just what you look up online. But yeah, the Voss roast is one of my favorites. It was very good. And we should have mentioned Shane and Joe List at Louis J. Gomez's roast because they were also tremendous.
They were. That roast sucked, though.
I enjoyed it.
Well, you were there, so I bet it was different. But
maybe that's why. It
was terrible to watch.
I liked it.
I thought Hinchcliffe was awesome that night.
Hinchcliffe was good. Zach Amico was good. Ari sucked. Ari purposely like I don't think Ari knew it was going to be online.
I thought he was dosed.
He was. Yeah, he was on acid.
That's why it sucks.
Yeah.
Angelo, are you concerned that you are the only one who Kirk doesn't hate at the moment?
I'm conscious of it. Don't want to rock the boat.
Here's the last one. I think I'll refresh in a sec to see if anyone else added. But Nick Citarella, what stand-ups are on your list of guys you haven't seen but really want to? Mine was Norm, but he kind of died.
I've seen Norm live. Luckily, I was at the taping of Hitler's Dog. Actually,
I went to see Norm and I had fake tickets.
Did you?
Yeah, did I not tell that story?
Oh no, I technically had fake tickets too. I had him for October of last year, and he never showed up for some reason.
No, I went. My wife got him off. What's that fucking ticket app?
Craig Carton's website?
No, it was like the one that you trust.
Ticketmaster?
No,
Fandango.
no.
Ace Ticket. StubHub. Okay.
And we went. It was the second show, or no, it was the first show. So we got a hotel across the street from the Wilbur. We walk over and we got the 2 red X's. The tickets were fucking fake.
That's not the first time I've heard StubHub giving out fake tickets. How is that possible?
That was the first time I did.
Is that so on StubHub, is it like I'm selling to you? You know what I mean? Like, is it just people selling tickets, or are they the actual like Ticketmaster where you're getting it from them?
I thought it was like the Ticketmaster.
I thought so too, but I've heard that's the second time I've heard someone say that they got fake tickets off of StubHub somehow.
But yeah, that was my Norm Macdonald show experience. And then I went back. We got sushi. I got drunk and watched me doing stand-up in the hotel room across the street from him doing stand-up.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah.
Hey, this is you doing stand. That's if you walked by, that's what you could have said.
Hey, how was it? It's just.
Yeah, I've been lucky enough to see a lot of the guys I've wanted to see. I would say probably my favorite like comedian that I haven't seen is Bo Burnham, but that's different than stand-up in a way.
I haven't seen a lot of people. I haven't seen Burr.
Oh, really?
No.
You gotta go to Fenway.
Yeah, I might. I haven't seen him. I haven't seen Big J, like any of those guys, really.
Oh, really? Well, Skankfest crosses a lot of those off.
It sure does, doesn't it?
In one foul swoop.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was trying to think. Like, I haven't seen like Chris Rock.
I have.
Who, I guess I'd like to see him, but it's not a must.
Oh, I had a great time seeing him.
I believe I would too, but he's not like, it's not Bring the Pain Chris Rock, so I'm not like I have to see this guy.
Is that the red suit one? Because I saw him in what it was like 2007 or 8 when I saw him. So it was like
Bring the Pain.
Yes. So it was like prime.
I think in Bring the Pain and Bigger and Blacker, he's wearing a black jacket.
Wasn't Bigger and Blacker, so I think it was Bring the Pain. Let me check. I'll let you know.
Rogan I haven't seen live, but that's another one. Like I like Rogan. I'm not. Oh, Nate Bargatze is probably my favorite comedian that I haven't seen live. That's when I got to cross off the list.
Yeah, I haven't seen. He's very funny, and I do like that you wouldn't know he's purposely not swearing. Like he's not.
Yeah, you wouldn't think of him as a clean comedian, but he is. Regan is. I saw Regan when I was like 14 years old, so I'd like to see him again because I don't really, it wasn't the same as if I saw him later in life. I didn't. Oh, you know what? I've never seen Gary Gulman. That's probably my favorite that I haven't seen live.
Yeah, no,
Gary Gulman's very underrated.
I've seen Attell.
Yeah, I've seen Attell, Quinn, Mulaney, Norm, Louis, Burr, Chappelle, Stanhope, Jim Norton. I've seen a bunch. Segura, Burt. Like I've seen all the guys I would really want to see live. I think.
Maybe it was earlier than that. Actually, now I'm thinking
there's got to be someone. The reason I'm really looking for someone is because what else do I really have to live for? There's got to be someone keeping me alive. Hannibal Buress, I'd like to see. I don't even know if he does stand up anymore.
I think it was Never Scared.
Oh, Chris Rock.
Yeah,
What year was that? I don't know that one.
2005.
Oh, okay.
I was in high school when that came out, so that makes sense.
Bully for you.
Yeah, that was back when he was like, cared about it. It seemed.
Yeah, if you guys think of someone I have not seen live that I should see, yeah, that'll keep me going for the next few years. So throw some names out.
I guess I'll go to the Twitter real quick.
Let's see if there's anything on there.
Box Eating Dad's a patron, so I can read this question. Ass, tits, or face?
A face, I suppose. Face, ass, tits in that order. I assume this is what I'm looking for in a woman, and he's not just asking about mine.
Yeah, I agree with that order. That's a good order. Tim, my producer, asked, "Why is Craig so pink?"
You know what's funny is I saw that question. It didn't even. I don't know. That's how little I know who Tim is. I didn't even know he followed me. I didn't know he had a Twitter.
That's him. Go follow.
I saw someone. By the way, I saw someone answer that and say steroids. And if you've seen Craig in person, unless it's the type of steroids they put like for cows or something,
they just get mass. Is it one of those compliments again?
I don't imagine it's steroids.
In high sodium diet, it's neither. It's I'm Irish and have really pale skin and am constantly in a state of sunburn.
Yeah, and he's an alcoholic.
I don't drink.
He's a real booze bag. He's drunk right now.
Killer asked, "When will you be going to take in the ambiance of Craig's studio?" Thanks for paying attention.
I've been there. We did this show and Why Are You Laughing from there.
Yeah, we did an emergency this show.
Yes. Emergency. Mike wasn't there. It was a big emergency.
Why does collecting a paycheck for something you already do bother you?
I think that's the same question we already got.
Yeah.
But like I said, it doesn't bother me. It's just I'm happier doing it this way.
When are you going to change your Twitter avatar?
Why?
Something more current. It says Kirk's Cudgel.
Something more current? Are you supposed to do that?
I have no idea. Actually, my profile picture makes sense again because I've been back on the Peloton, so we're good.
Oh, is that what he's saying? Because I have a beard and I'm fatter.
I don't know.
I don't know. I didn't know you were supposed to keep it current. I just figured, why? What's the point of changing it?
When are you going to do a Bobcat Goldthwait episode of Why Are You Laughing?
That's another one. I get questions. When I get questions often, I think like obviously they're like fucking with me in some way. But I do think that would be an interesting. He's an odd character. I think that would be an interesting episode. Same with Gallagher. There's some guy that's always like, "When are you going to do Gallagher?" And it seems like he's being sarcastic. Gallagher would be a fascinating guy to do an episode on because he's such an asshole.
You going to see Louis at Hampton Beach? I didn't even know he was going there.
So it's the same night as Burr at Fenway, and I already have tickets, I think. So no can do, but I would like to. That's my guy Louis in my old stomping grounds of Hampton Beach. So it's a shame I'm going to be missing that.
My question is it healthy that I decided to work from home so I could more easily watch Blind Mike Project live stream today?
No, certainly not. We appreciate it for sure. And for those of you that would like to join this man in whatever rubber room he's in, it's blindmike.net is where you can find the Patreon and the links to the podcast. But no, it's certainly not healthy, if that's what you're asking.
Justin Durden wants to know, are feet shoes?
I don't understand.
I don't either.
Is that like is a hot dog a hamburger type of thing?
Yeah. Wizzy Wayne, I've answered this question for sure on this show before. Have you ever heard Anthony Cumia explain the story of how the Proud Boys were founded?
Yes, yeah.
You should do a deep dive on Gavin McInnes and how politics can railroad comedians.
Yeah, so I think that's interesting because I'm not a Gavin McInnes fan at all. Like, he's one of the few people I kind of hate.
Yeah.
Meaning, like, there's no one I really hate for their content. Like, if you look at Tom Myers, I'm in love with Tom Myers. He's a horrendous comedian. But Gavin McInnes is a guy I kind of hate because he's not funny and tries to be shocking. You know what I mean? Like, where it was something too. If you go and listen to old Stern or Opie and Anthony, there's something to the element of shock jock radio where it's like, well, people never heard this before. Gavin McInnes is shocking in the way that I'll throw out a racial slur to get people mad, and I'll make up an opinion about race that I don't really hold because I think it'll be interesting. Like he's a fraud. He's playing a character that he isn't in real life, and he's trying to be shocking and outrageous, but it's not real. Like he's portraying that as him, but it just doesn't work. It doesn't come off as authentic. He's not fooling anyone really. And the shit that he's saying, it's not like there's some brilliant point behind it. Like I just think he's purposely being an asshole, which doesn't really do it for me for whatever reason.
He can be funny for sure, and but
maybe that's probably my main issue with him is like if he was just funny, then maybe I'd like him.
So I think when he first started on Kumia's network, when this happened, because literally Proud Boy started just to get one of Kumia's producers laid.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, the Proud Boys were a joke that Gavin McInnes and Anthony Cumia started on. I don't know how it got so popular, but it just people started joining, and it was some like what the Proud Boys originally was like a no fap club. Like
no, it was
they didn't jerk off.
Western misogynist. It's just a boys club.
Right. Like but one of their big things was like they didn't jerk off, and they had like little like, no women allowed, that type of shit. Like it was for guys that closeted gay that just won't admit it, I guess.
Right.
But and then it became a thing that Donald Trump and Joe Biden are yelling at each other about on fucking debates.
Yeah, I that was when Gavin was even like, I don't get it.
Yeah, so that's the other thing is Gavin disassociated himself from the Proud Boys, I guess. So good for him for that, for just being like, this has gone too far, I guess. But then it's also like, well, you were on board with this until it got real. Well, then fuck you, you know?
Well, it was that, and then it all of a sudden became so to get into the Proud Boys, and I'm pretty sure it still exists. You get beaten until you name 5 breakfast cereals.
So it's like it's a frat, is basically what it is.
Yeah, and it's
a frat that people are like, oh god, the Proud Boy, like the people are scared of it.
Yeah, and they like there's the like they're like, oh, it's white supremacist. That's the one thing that I'm like, come on. They're like, it's a white supremacist group, and I'm like a Cuban dude is in charge of it right now.
Right. But that's kind of on them because they want you to think that that's what they are.
They just want to be thought as not Antifa.
Right. Well, yeah. So to put it mildly, yeah, but we might do something on that. That's an interesting idea.
Maybe. See anything else in here? Are you aware that Christian Arcan takes it in the ass?
Listen, a lot of people probably don't know this. Christian Arcan's the first guy that had me regularly on the radio. Like Mutt and Zolak and Bertrand each had me on for like 2 minutes. And Mutt had me in the studio and talked to me for a while. But Christian Arcan's the first guy that like actually had me on, like he had me on for the full hour and then invited me back regularly. Christian Arcan did a lot for me, and I look at him as sort of a mentor in that way. So frankly, I'm not going to comment on that. You know, I don't feel comfortable engaging in this controversy. I don't think it's anyone's business, and I'm not going to get in the mud on this one, as it were.
The last question here is about deleted tweets from a certain Barstool employee, and gets into what they involved.
Go ahead. What? Let me hear it.
When will the deleted Chris Clemmer tweets calling Stool Presidente a racist and misogynist be released?
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Did he actually call him a racist? Was he joking though?
I don't know. That's why I was like, should I even read this out loud? Because I don't know if that actually happened.
Assume he was joking, and especially if he's joking, he would be dumb not to delete those.
Oh, I agree with that.
You know what I mean? Like if we were sitting here today and he just got hired and those tweets were still there, we'd be like, what are you, a fucking moron? You got to delete those.
Right.
So I don't know if he was joking or not, but I do have to say I don't like, I'm guilty of it making me laugh when it happens. And I've probably pointed it out when it happens to people like Julie DeCaro or whatever. But I don't love the idea of going through people's tweets from 5 years ago. That was probably 6 months ago. But
I don't know if those actually happened. That's my only thing.
Okay, well, so that's another thing is I don't know if they happened or not. But if they did, I don't love the idea of going through people's old tweets and being like, "Well, you still have to feel like this."
The only ones I can confirm I saw were him like taking shots at stoolies, I think.
Yeah, which is like I think that's how he really feels. But I think people can be multiple things, where they get frustrated at fans or they get frustrated at Portnoy and talk shit about him, but also want to work there and respect what they do and everything.
Yeah.
You can find tweets on me the other way saying Barstool's the greatest place in the world. I'll never leave it. This is my home forever. And things change and people change. So I have no people want that to be sensational, but it's like, if that happened to you, you'd think it was pretty shitty. So
Right. That's all of those questions.
pretty much it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we have folks, we have a lot of Quincy coming up.
Oh fuck. We forgot to do something.
What?
An ad.
Ooh. What time were we at?
An hour or 10 minutes.
Can we do it now?
I'll do it
And then
now.
you put it in earlier?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll kind of talk now and you could put it in cleaner later.
Yes.
Okay.
The video won't have it, but the free episode will have it in the right spot.
All right, folks. Well, we're going to do this very naturally. This is right in the middle of the conversation you were just hearing. It's not unnaturally inserted at all because we forgot and we're horrible broadcasters.
Hey,
this is just kind of off the cuff. We're talking.
Right.
So we got big news here. Actually, maybe today at some point we'll get into, or maybe we've already gotten into Craig's place on this show and people complaining about it.
Yeah, this is this ad is totally leading into questions.
Yes. Yeah. So we're about to do questions. And, people complain about Craig's place on the show. So I turned to the business world and I said, listen, does anyone want to keep Craig on the show? And it turns out we found someone who is sponsoring Craig's position on this program. So Craig, why don't you tell us about your new friends?
Have you been outbid on the perfect house, or maybe haven't found the right home? There are more homes.
I gotta interrupt here for a second.
Yeah.
I just want to say this is a guy that he was like, who is this? He doesn't listen to the show or anything. He's a guy that was kept perusing Twitter, and as he put it to me, he says he loves TV pitchmen in the way of Billy Mays and old guys like that.
Yeah.
And he said, I don't know what this coffee brand was, but I saw a guy hawking coffee.
That's right.
On the internet, and I have to have him. So he reached out to me and said, I need that voice to go along with my product. So I'm sorry, Craig. Please continue.
Can't all be coffee moguls here. There are more homes coming onto the market every day. Mike, did you know that?
That's true. I could be interested in getting a home pretty soon.
Oh, big news.
Yeah, so I'm interested. You've reeled me in. Tell me more.
Then maybe you should contact Jason Gillespie with Lamacchia Realty. He has access to more homes than what's listed on websites like Zillow and what's on his clients like Best.
He has more than that?
Yeah, he has
Oh
way
my
more.
God.
I mean, endless Rolodex of homes from what it sounds like here.
Okay.
He has homes that aren't even listed yet, Mike.
My goodness gracious.
To learn more about these opportunities, give him a call politely at 781-690-3308. You can also follow him on Facebook at Jason Gillespie Realtor and at Lamacchia Realty, and go to get monthly real estate updates. Just email him at jgillespie@lamacchiarealty.com.
Yeah, so check out Jason. Great guy, supporter of. I don't even know if he likes this show. He just likes Craig. He's a supporter of Craig. So go support Jason. Great guy, and looking for homes can be tough right now. So go check out Jason. He's going to make it a lot easier for you.
Fox Eating Dead, you do not do that.
What?
He said he's going to assassinate him, and I said, don't do that.
What's wrong with you? Why would you even say that?
It's crazy talk.
So, first of all, you could probably eliminate that part.
He meant his mention. He meant his mentions.
Yeah, we'll leave it in there, and I think you can also naturally insert it earlier in the program as well. So Jason's going to get 2 ad reads on the free episode.
Yeah, for sure. You're gonna hear this exact same segment 2 times.
Well, not all of it. Figure out the right place to cut it.
Oh, I'm a pro. I'll figure this out.
We'll see about it. Folks, message me. I can't listen to my voice again, but tell me if it was professionally done.
It will be. Come on. That's what I do for work now.
All right. Well, thank you for noticing that at least before we signed off.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not a good broadcaster, folks. So if you're thinking of sponsoring this program, just save your money and go to the Patreon. Go to patreon.com/blindmike, which might be a little easier to find if you go to blindmike.net, because that is where you can also find links to the podcast. Like I said, merch, Craig's Twitter, all the stuff you could be looking for. And if Craig's Twitter isn't enough for you, then you can go to verygoodshow.org and get more Craig there. That's where his Patreon is as well. So go support that program. Go support Tim. Is that right?
Yep. Tim Dolan.
Yeah, keep Tim alive a few more days.
Yeah. And Patreon is thriving over there.
Yeah.
It's huge.
So go check that out. Rest in peace, Matt from Rhode Island. It's been a pleasure. And we'll see you on the other side, brother.
Until then, have yourself a great day, and as always,